In the vast expanse of Western Australia in the 1930s, an unexpected battle unfolded that pitted humanity against nature in a peculiar and comical conflict known as the Great Emu War. In the aftermath of World War I, Australia experienced a period of agricultural expansion. Farmers, including war veterans, were granted land for cultivation, but their dreams of prosperity soon turned into a bizarre challenge. A plague of emus, large flightless birds native to Australia, descended upon the farmlands of Western Australia. These emus were not just any birds. They were hungry, and their appetites were insatiable. They feasted on crops, destroyed fences, and left a trail of devastation in their wake. The farmers' livelihoods were under siege, and a solution was urgently needed. The federal response. The farmers turned to the Australian government for assistance, and in 1932, the government dispatched the military to Western Australia. The mission? To eradicate the emu threat and save the crops. The unconventional battle. The military's approach to this peculiar problem was nothing short of unconventional. Under the command of Major G. Pew Meredith, soldiers were armed with 2 Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. They were deployed to the Campion district, where the emus had wreaked the most havoc. The stage was set for an epic, albeit absurd, battle between highly trained soldiers and a horde of emus. The emus, however, proved to be elusive and cunning. As the soldiers opened fire, the birds scattered in every direction, and their agility made them difficult targets. Emu adaptability. Intriguingly, the emus adapted to the military's tactics. They learned to split into smaller groups, making it harder for the soldiers to effectively target them. Their speed and agility were impressive, and their reaction to the gunfire was swift. Many emus escaped unscathed, defeated soldiers. The emus continued to outsmart and outmaneuver the soldiers. Major Meredith reported that it took an average of 10 rounds of ammunition to bring down a single emu, and many more rounds were expended in the process. After several days of futile attempts to control the emu population, Major Meredith's forces were withdrawn. The soldiers had suffered a clear defeat at the wings of the emus. Surrender and humor. The Great Emu War came to an end, not because the emus had been defeated, but because of the realization that this battle was unwinnable. The emu population continued to thrive, causing ongoing problems for the farmers. The failed campaign became the subject of humor and mockery. Newspapers published cartoons of emus with machine guns, and the government's efforts were widely ridiculed. The Emu War had inadvertently become one of the most unusual and amusing chapters in Australia's history. Legacy. The Great Emu War remains a fascinating piece of history, highlighting the unpredictable challenges that nature can present. Today, the emu population in Australia is carefully managed, and the story of the emu insurgency lives on as a symbol of resilience in the face of unexpected obstacles. In the end, the emus of Western Australia emerged as unlikely victors in this unique and humorous chapter of human-animal conflict. The Great Emu War serves as a reminder that sometimes, nature's resilience can outmatch even the most determined human efforts. And so, this unusual tale of the Great Emu War in Australia, where humans took up arms against flightless birds and lost, remains a curious and entertaining slice of history. An absurd yet endearing tale. The Great Emu War, while an odd and humorous episode in history, carries a unique charm. It highlights the unpredictable and often absurd interactions between humanity and the natural world. In this battle of soldiers against emus, the unexpected victors were the emus themselves, showcasing the resilience and adaptability of these native Australian birds. A symbol of resilience. Today, the legacy of the Great Emu War lives on as a symbol of resilience in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. It reminds us that nature is a force to be reckoned with, and that sometimes the best approach to adversity is not through force, but through understanding and cooperation. Lessons from the emus. The Great Emu War also serves as a humorous yet profound lesson in humility. It reminds us that our attempts to control and conquer nature are not always successful. In our pursuit of progress and prosperity, we sometimes encounter situations where nature refuses to yield to our desires. Conservation and coexistence. In modern times, Australia has learned to balance its agricultural needs with the preservation of its unique wildlife. The emu population is now carefully managed to prevent overpopulation and crop damage. The story of the Great Emu War has, in a way, led to a better understanding of how to coexist with the natural world. Conclusion. In the end, the Great Emu War remains an endearing chapter in Historion that combines elements of humor, irony, and a touch of absurdity. It is a testament to the unpredictability of nature and the enduring spirit of the emus that have thrived in the Australian outback for centuries. As we look back on this peculiar piece of history, we are reminded of the remarkable and often entertaining ways in which humans and nature interact. While we may not always come out as victors, we gain a deeper appreciation for the complex and intriguing world we share with the animals that call this planet home. And so, the Great Emu War of Western Australia endures, not only as an oddity, but as a story of nature's resilience and humanity's capacity for humility and humor in the face of unexpected challenges.